Right, guys, welcome back. This is the Above Average FPL podcast. My name is Adam, and as always, I'm joined by Baker. How you doing, mate?
I'm well, mate.
Good.
I am well. Earlier than usual, Wednesday night. Weird, isn't it? Weird, like a 4-day game week. Don't like it.
What, like the whole day? You mean like a four day gap, or are you talking like the entire game week was
Yeah,
four
like
days?
a game, then a game, then a couple of games, then a couple of games.
Oh yeah. Oh, this week. Oh yeah, yeah. It's a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
bit odd with like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday job.
Yeah, it's long. It's long.
Yep. But otherwise, all good.
Oh, good. I mean, first time I've ever had 100,000 red arrow for no games being played.
Incredible.
That's
Good work. Well done.
ticked another one off. 100,000 red arrow.
Good effort. I don't even
That's
know because I was in the position. I was just like, I can't be bothered to check because it doesn't really matter. Like
25% red arrow.
that's hard. That's hard. I
308,
genuinely don't know what it
380k
was.
to 490k
I genuinely
is,
don't know what I was previously. That's it. So like for me, obviously, my points didn't change because I had Gordon. So my points
but
didn't
your points
actually
went
change,
up. Your rank went up
but my rank
considerably.
might have gone up. But it might have done. But I'm
No, no,
still like
no.
4.1 million, like still the same, roughly 4.1 million. That's what I was, 4.1
So if you
something like
go
that.
into, so we're talking now about game week 17, which
Whoa,
is
whoa, whoa,
now,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
well,
whoa, 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 whoa! Hold the phone, hold the phone. Perlo's pen in the chat. Can you see it in the chat?
oh, hello. Merry Christmas, Perlo's pen.
That is amazing. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Thank you so much.
Merry
That's
Christmas,
amazing.
Super Chat.
And Fatal's
Yeah,
right.
no,
Fatality's right. I mean, like, great name. 4 million doesn't matter. You're right. It doesn't really matter for me.
if you go into the app, if you quickly go into the app, click on your name, see what it says your overall rank is.
Going.
What does it say your overall rank
Is it
is?
still up there? 3.956.
Okay. And now, what is your rank on live FPL?
4.1. Yeah. No, I suppose it is 4.1. I think it is anyway.
So have you got worse?
4.143
Oh, so you've had a 200k red arrow.
with
You
no
didn't get
points
better.
change.
That's mad. But let me tell you a little bit about why the other reasons why is and why it actually hurt you, actually, even probably slightly more than me, and why it's a slight exaggeration when I say that I had 100k red arrow just off Solanke not being in my team because it's all auto subs.
Oh, this is true.
And tell the listeners what percent owned was Haaland at your rank.
Yeah, he was 108%
So 108% of Haalands have come off,
come off the
and
bench.
all those captains have switched off to other players.
Yeah. So
So so
I've
you
been done at my rank. That's true.
so you've been done at your rank, not because of the slanky ones, but because of
Yeah.
the auto subs are
That's true.
mad.
That's true.
The
That
lower
makes
down you
perfect
go.
sense. It's so annoying. But
So annoying. So you've been benchwankered.
I've absolutely been. No, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. You can't count it if a game
You
gets
can
called
count
off.
it. You can count it. We call it
No,
benchwankered.
no, not having it. I mean, that is coming though. That is coming this week.
That is coming this way.
It's
You're
coming.
doing it. You're doing it.
Oh hell yes.
So
Foden and Alvarez
people
very much in my team this week.
people will message you in on Twitter and ask you why you've done certain things. And people that listen to us, there'll be ones that don't know about bench wankering. Adam, explain in 30 seconds what bench wankery is.
Do it in less than that. You literally play the players that are not playing, so that people who aren't looking at live FPL think that your rank is not as good, your score is not as good as it actually is in the FPL app.
Perfect.
That's why. So people from work, your casuals at work, they think you got 25 points this week. They go, oh, you're an idiot. You casually have 40 points come off the bench, and you look like a fucking hero on a Monday morning. That's why you do it. That's why you do it. It's all for the fun.
I've never done it. I just can't do it.
Nah, you're
Just
boring.
can't
That's
do
why.
it. I also feel like if I put someone on the bench, I'm almost tempting fate that they won't score any points. It's like when they then don't, it's like, oh, have I done that? Have I done that
Yeah.
by putting them there?
But you know as well as I do, it's not. We have no control. So
We have no control.
you were
But
saying to me like 5 minutes ago before we started. You were saying I've had. We'll talk about your injuries that you've had, but you like 9 injuries in 10 weeks. Calling yourself cursed, like it's nothing to do with you.
not doing me.
So
And and you have to keep telling yourself that because otherwise you really start thinking what on earth is going
well,
on.
I'm breaking players as I bring them in. I mean that
Yeah.
it's exactly the same thing.
It's the
Same
same
stupid thing. I'm
principle.
breaking players as I bring them in. Son
Oh no.
brought him in, nothing.
Oh
Salah
no.
captain for the first time in 5 games against Man United, averages 18 points in those 4 games beforehand. Nothing.
No, I saw a tweet earlier by the official account. It said Saka's first home blank of the season, and I was like, "Yep,
Yeah,
brought him in last week." um, so yeah, we do always and will always associate outcomes with what happens, and including we'll associate outcomes with the decisions we made. I saw our friend Praz. I've just seen him tweet, right, that he strengthened his first bench so that, to protect him from Gordon being injured, which he's using as his rationale for why it's good management that he got Livramento's 9 points off the bench. Disgusting.
disgrace.
The absolute disgusting justification.
Yeah, we're not buying it.
We're not buying it. But yeah. So 17 is finally in the bank. I'm assuming everything will update overnight.
Yep.
And we're into game week 18.
Yeah.
We go again.
But we don't know when this game's going to be.
No.
It could be literally anywhere because they're not in any kind of other competitions at all, apart from obviously the FA Cup, which they haven't started yet. But it could literally drop anywhere. Like League Cup semi-final week, one of those would be pretty reasonable. And Bournemouth's not near anywhere either, so there's not like there's any real policing issue other than they have to just arrange it.
It could even drop into an FA Cup week if they both go out pretty quickly.
I don't know who they've got in the third round, so I'm sure Krellin's all over that already. But
it requires 4 teams to go out, doesn't it? It requires both them to go out plus the teams they would play, I suppose.
Yes, I suppose it would. No, well, not in the fourth round because the fourth round is an FA Cup weekend, whereas the fifth round is a Premier League weekend.
Yeah. Anyway, those guys that work it out, they'll tell us soon enough. The only thing I do think is obviously midweeks, once Europe kicks back in February, people won't they can't get this on telly, but this wasn't a telly game. So it's whether Sky would want to buy it. There is part of me that thinks Sky would more want to buy this if it was towards the end of the season, if it became a relegation battle, for example. So yeah, we have to wait and see. But
depends. Bournemouth are ticking along, so whether they'll be involved in that area,
they should be comfortable.
They should be comfortable. The team that's going to get involved now is if they're not already is Forest. I mean, I can't.
You don't think that Nuno's going to pull them out of the fire?
No, I think no. Quite honestly, no. I can't see it.
Do you still remember when we got completely sucked in by he did that I will make you proud.
I will make you proud. Really, really, in pre-season. Then he went and won manager of the month with 3 wins, including beating City on the first day of the season.
As soon as he said it, I flounced. I was like, yeah, feel good. Feel good.
He's just so soft, though. So he was just too soft at the time. And just
dull.
Yeah.
Really dull football it was.
Remember how, because just before we got him, wasn't he like Wolves are guaranteed 0-0 half-time jobby? Was that not Nuno's team, wasn't
it?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Game week 18. The blank. It's finally here. We have some City assets. Some people have no City assets at the moment.
I have no City assets.
Yeah. So, and obviously with Boomer being injured, like Brentford assets have gone as well. So, things like free hit conversations went out the window quite quickly, didn't they, a few weeks ago?
Mm.
And everyone's just now navigating it. But it looks a really kind of balanced week. It's really kind of difficult to try and find the big ones apart from the one standout fixture.
Yes, you've got Villa, which if you look at the expected goals, Villa's at 2.75. Second best is Tottenham at 2.00. 2.00 would have been the sixth best fixture last week.
Yeah.
So that shows the sort of drop off this week compared to last. You can always have a little bit of drop off when City aren't playing because they're one of the teams that are normally with an over 2 XG. Um, but yeah, we've got a game here where realistically only one team is expected to score more than 2 goals. That's rare, which also then makes cleans very hard to predict because, if they're closer games, yeah, we've talked many times.
Well, you said it last week. 40% was the number,
40%,
right? And there's just Villa.
Just Villa.
And to be fair, like Sheffield United it's only going to be the promoted teams that give Villa that kind of number. They're good at home, but Sheffield United 0.75. I mean, they're still saying there's a chance they get up there. It's not like it's like 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, etc.
No.
So there's still a chance.
Interesting on Newcastle, isn't it? Because I think a few weeks ago we all would have just assumed Newcastle, this was a clean for them. So to be 37% chance of clean. I saw Rob T did a thing and showed like Luton games at home. And this is the seventh worst clean sheet odds for a visiting team to Luton. Only Wolves and Burnley with worse clean sheet odds than for teams that have visited but Luton this.
There's a piece there, I think there's a piece there around early season expectations as well. A lot of the bigger sides went there. Arsenal went there. Luton, Tottenham went there. Chelsea have been there. So early season they were obviously expected to do worse than they actually probably did. Liverpool have gone there as well. So these teams haven't done fantastically apart from Chelsea. I think there's nobody else has really gone there and dominated the game. So
and that felt like was that a Friday night? Was it a Friday night or Monday night?
I think it was an evening game.
Yeah, it just felt like under the lights. It felt more. Whereas like when we played them, obviously the lunchtime kickoff obviously was massively changed by Basuma getting sent off. But it feels tougher for some reason on the weekends there. I do think obviously Tom Lockyer as their captain not playing is a big deal. But you also feel like the crowd is, if there was ever a 12th man, it was going to be this week.
Agreed.
As you feel like the occasion's going to be.
It's going to be loud.
It's going to be loud, mate. It's going to be loud. Just the prep, everything. Do you know what I mean? Like the whole thing is, you can't imagine Luton to be.
You feel like Alfie Doughty might have a good day. Like Trips is not feeling good right now. He's had a couple of games in a row where he's been shaky as hell. Obviously Carabao Cup yesterday and stuff.
So bad.
Yeah, Doughty's been decent. Like he's created a lot of chances for him. I mean, he's basically their KDB, I guess, if you can call it that. But everything runs through him.
He's a baller.
They might get chances.
Still, we're playing what we got. Surely, you still, regardless, because there's not outstanding fixtures. Hear me out on this one then. So we've got Share, and are we both assuming that Share's just not playing this weekend?
Well, we said somebody sent us a message, did they not, say that he wasn't maybe not as bad, but we just don't know anything. And then also Howell's not going to tell us anything. So I guess we just have to assume that has Botman's played minutes in midweek and Lascelles is still okay, that they will be.
Burn could also play centre back.
And Burn could also play centre back. And you've got, exactly. Yeah, we said that on Sunday, that Burn could play there.
Very hard to imagine he does. But for those that have got your Lascelles, your Livramentos, would you play a Livramento or Lascelles over, say, a Simicast or an Arsenal defender this week?
Yeah, I probably would do. Yeah, I probably would do in that fixture. If there's ever a fixture where where I feel like there's going to be goals both sides, it's that Liverpool
It's that
Arsenal
one.
game. I know
Yeah.
obviously Liverpool needs to do more than they did on Sunday against United, and they need to create
Mm.
better chances, right? As we said, lots of shots, lots of low quality. Arsenal will just sweep that up. They have to be just better than they were at the weekend. But I would still just play the fixture. I would still play the fixture and go with the Livramento pick.
I agree. I agree. I would definitely. If my pecking order would be, if you've got Newcastle defenders, you play them this week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's
One
no,
of the reasons you got them was for this. Just
I was
carry on
gonna,
with it.
at no point when you were planning to bring Newcastle players in were you thinking of benching them away at Luton like that.
No,
You know,
we've seen it so many times, haven't we? Teams not performing very well, and then a good fixture suddenly, guess what? It turns up.
mhm.
Um, and they're out of Europe. They're now out of the Carabao.
Yeah,
This is it now.
yeah,
Yeah, till the FA Cup rolls around, this is it.
yeah. Simon Walker
Um,
saying Chelsea last night back to Newcastle, then back down south, travel fatigue. They probably just stayed down, have they not? Is it?
I don't know. No, they'd have
Maybe
gone up.
not. Maybe they would have gone up
No, they'd have gone up Tuesday night. Yeah,
Tuesday night.
yeah.
Yeah, I suppose they would have gone up.
I
Well,
don't
you can
think they
say
have to worry
travel.
about those
They
sort of things.
fly. They fly in and out of London City, wouldn't they? Easy peasy.
You'd assume so. You'd assume so. I don't worry about
Yeah.
that.
Possibly, I think you're right. I think Luton could score, but I think you've got to bet against them, right? You just have to.
You just got to. It's the second. They've got the second least expected goals predicted for the week. That's as good as you can hope for.
Yeah. And so Gordon as well, obviously comes off from the Caicedo challenge, but rumors is they've reported it as a knock. It didn't look great.
He said he was very sore.
Perfect.
Very sore.
Get some
That's
ice
the
on
best
it.
you can get from him.
Bit of DP.
It's,
You'll be fine.
it's a difficult one with Gordon because this is one of the prime fixtures. And after this, you've got one more good fixture, which is Forest. That will be, you know, Forest are obviously at home this week against Bournemouth. It's a tight game. If somehow Nuno gets that bounce, which look, he did get that bounce when he started at Tottenham, that suddenly becomes a slightly worse fixture for Newcastle. And then you go into three terrible fixtures for Newcastle. So I wouldn't be against if people think that there's a good option for them. If there's players that are looking to get in over the next few weeks, I'd have no issue with people bringing it forward on the Gordon one. But he's so important to them that you just think that if there's any chance Gordon's fit, he'll play.
Yeah, it's just and not knowing about Isak is a problem as well because Isak could play on that left hand side if he's needed. Obviously, there's still no Harvey Barnes, but
Yeah,
if Isak's there, then potentially he could come in. But again, it's like I'm just bored of Eddie Howe. Like I don't even know why he bothers turning up to press conferences. It just does my head in.
I totally agree.
It's just
I
what's the
totally
point?
agree. It definitely makes me want to just to avoid the team.
Yeah, because you just don't know until they turn up. Like what? How are you supposed to predict anything? And I mean, you literally would need somebody inside. Like you. I mean, and whether you get anything, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know you would. Don't even know. We've got some really good journos and stuff up there, and people that seem to have good inside information about who's training. We hear every week about who's doing what on what grass and drills and this and all the other and stuff, but you
Well,
still
yeah,
never
because
know.
exactly because we had Trips not training, didn't we? We had Trips not training,
Yeah.
Gordon not training, both rolled out of the weekend.
Yeah.
It's like just no idea. Obviously, Cher we knew wasn't training, and then he was fit, and then he
Yeah.
got injured. Like, I mean, yeah, Paul. He will share minutes with Wilson if he's playing like striker, but as I say, if he needs to cover, then yeah, if he needs
Just
to
don't
cover
know.
the left hand side, okay, we just don't know.
Just don't know. We should tackle this one. Son cap versus Watkins cap. I had a message earlier asking me about it, and I thought maybe we'll talk about it here. Have you considered Suncat?
No, probably for two reasons.
Go with him.
One that I think by captaining him, this is stupid. I'm going to say it again. But if I
This is
captain him,
amazing.
if I captain him, he won't do it. He won't get points. That's one reason.
We're the worst managers.
Terrible. Like no, the main reason is Watkins is clear. In my
Yeah.
opinion, like in terms of the game, and Everton defensively have been better. It's not that I really rate Patterson as a fullback, because I don't. Just as I don't rate Mikalenko as a fullback, I still don't. And you'd expect Son to turn Michael Keane right round, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like you say, the first things first is the Friday night game at Villa, who are the best home team in the league. And if they win,
15 wins in a row and they go top of the league.
If they win, they go top of the league. That's the big thing for me. Once I suddenly saw the sequencing, I was like, oh, hold on, they play first. They get to have that period that they're top. Like, that is party time. If you are a Villa fan tomorrow night, that's your best moment for a long time. For a long, long time, potentially. It's just too big. It's too big a moment to not captain Watkins for me. I understand it. It's a midfielder. We're immediately into midfielders get more points and all that stuff. The problem with that is that there's so many others that can score the points for Tottenham effectively. The defenders all have really good baselines. Porro at some point is going to get more than the 1 or 2 bonus that he gets. He's going to get a free bonus at some point. Richarlison could get the brace. Yeah. Kulusevski only seems to need 1 goal, and his baseline's so good that he's immediately, into the bonus equation. So therefore, and we don't keep cleans anyway most of the time. Like, I'm not fully expecting us to keep. Well, we're 27% chance to keep a clean at home to Everton.
Seems high. Although Brighton appear to have a 30% chance of a clean away at Palace, which I think is bizarre.
If you were asking your standard man down the pub to predict scores, more than 1 in 4 would have a clean sheet for Tottenham this weekend, home to Everton. But that's just the state of play, what we're doing at the moment. But DCL could score for Everton, and then that makes it hard for Son to get bonus. There's so many different ways in which Son doesn't end up in the but he literally has to brace.
Yeah.
And he's playing left wing, and he's not getting as many chances by playing left wing.
And the midfield that we've got at the moment, I wouldn't trust it to be able to create the chances quick enough for him, because he needs to be behind Patterson and running in behind him.
Yeah, Lo Celso if Lo Celso comes back in as well potentially, then he is going to slow him down.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, I don't know. I haven't heard whether Lo Celso's back or not this week.
No idea.
I
don't know.
But I'm assuming, and Brennan's knock on his head looks massive. God knows what kind of headgear he's going to have to play to.
It'd be full Petr Cech probably. The full
Petr Cech. Yes, it's a biggie. Oh, we had another Christmas
We have
present.
another super chat. We have another Christmas present from Lard. It says, Merry Christmas, boys. Have a well-earned drink for Christmas. As always, really enjoy your content. Mate, we enjoy just having a chat. We enjoy having a chat. It's good. It's fun.
Christmas presents.
We like
Thank
it.
you very much.
Thank you so much.
So, yeah, not Suncap. And then the other big decisions this week is defenders on who to play from Liverpool and Arsenal, because virtually all of us have got Simicast plus 1 Arsenal defender. A lot of people have got a Newcastle defender. A lot of people have got a Porro now. So there's a potential where quite a few people can bench one of those, if not both of those this week. If you had the choice of Simicast or any Arsenal defender, who are you benching?
I mean, you know the answer to this question already, because the Arsenal defender is the hedge, right? Because everyone's got Salah.
Everyone's got Salah.
So the Arsenal defender's the hedge if Salah gets nothing and then Arsenal clean. The Simicast is that Liverpool get a couple of goals, maybe just 1, and you get the clean. And then you get
or
both.
an assist.
Or an assist.
You You're more likely to get the assist, I think, from Simicast than you are any attacking return from any of the Arsenal defence this week.
Yeah,
I would say
they will only be up there for set pieces because there's not too many. We're talking Gabriel Saliba, right? We're not really talking about Zinchenko.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah,
not really. Yeah.
So personally, so the way I would play it is I would play Simicast if I was to bench, and I would bench one.
I would definitely play Simicast over Gabriel. I definitely would play Simicast because also Gabriel is the least likely to get bonus in this out of all the Arsenal defenders every week. He doesn't get as many.
Yeah.
My issue on the Saliba versus Simicast ones, where I'm a little bit closer, is it very often is in the bonus. So if somehow they do block them out and keep that clean, you think there's a very, very good chance for it. But they're low end plays. You look at it, 21% chance of a clean, 23% chance of a clean. They're low end plays. Is there any good upside plays? Well, Villa defense is a good upside play this week.
It is, but we saw earlier that a number of them are not training right now. So, like, obviously, like if you've managed to hold on to cash for this long, you're obviously not selling him and you're playing him.
100%.
I don't know whether you're buying into the left back position at all because we still don't know who's going to be the number one there. I think it should be Moreno in theory at some point, but Dini is there right now.
Yeah.
So it's basically Konza or Pal.
Yeah.
And, take your pick, right?
Yeah, we said at the start of the season when we were looking at this, we were like, maybe Konza's the pick because he always plays no matter what formation it is. I think maybe it might still be that case that's the one for it. But I don't know. Powell just looks the better player, doesn't he, when I watch him? I like watching Powell play.
Yeah.
I'd probably say you can get 0.2 saving or so by going Konza. I'd probably go Konza if I needed to go into it.
Liverpool are winning 2-0 at the moment, by the way.
Oh, nice.
This is interesting. So Szoboszlai and Jones have scored. Simicast is playing. Trent's not. Salah's rested. Areola's conceded another 2 goals.
Don't assist, apparently. Don't assist.
Is that Mr. Sitter, as in Mr. or missed a sitter?
Well,
could be both. Could be both.
But yeah, the fact that Simicast is playing tonight, maybe that means it's a Gomez night. I mean, Saka against Simicast is not ideal, is it? That's the risk on starting Simicast this week, is you could also just have him off the bench. But if you think it's just going to be both teams score anyway, it doesn't really matter. I am still really tempted by Trent this week, especially now I've heard he's rested. It's just his baseline is average. I looked at it earlier. Since Gameweek 10, it's averaging over 20. It's the best baseline in the league, but averaging over 20 on his baseline now. And every week you drop that down, it gets higher. So if you do the last 3 game weeks, it's like his average baseline is 25. Like these are numbers that are higher even than he's ever done.
I just think it's a week early. And I know, I know it's a case of like, you've got the money. I think some people are just like, I've got the money now.
Yeah.
Because
you got the money now.
Because if you don't spend the money now, and then we get told Haaland's back for 19, like you don't get Trent, you just go back to Haaland, I guess.
Exactly. the thing of not doing it this week. So for me at the moment, I'd just start Share and hope for the best. I'd start Share probably over Saliba, and just assume I'd get Saliba in for him. So I'd play Simicast and Saliba this week, which is bad play.
Yeah.
Whereas Trent, you feel like, well, would I be surprised if they conceded 2, but he still got 8 points? I wouldn't. I genuinely wouldn't. I think he's in a state of play at the moment where, like, think back to the Luton game a few weeks back against Arsenal of how much Doherty absolutely dominated on set plays against Arsenal and how bad Raya was against them. Like, would I be surprised if he gets an assist? And if he gets an assist, he's on 29 on his bonus.
Yeah,
and
so he's up there.
Team are like to clean.
Yeah, no team
And
cleans. Jesus doesn't score, so it's midfielders only scoring goals. He's just there, isn't he?
he could get free bonus off an assist this week if both teams score.
Yeah.
So as much as it's not, I'm like, but it's such a low week for the other defenders. And then he goes up against Burnley, who Everton just destroyed in the air. Um, like
Yeah.
from a set piece perspective, these next two against Arsenal and Burnley, I think are pretty good. The the downside is, like you say, you're making all the other routes harder because we don't know on Haaland, and we might not know. Yeah.
So I saw something.
We
Did that tweet from earlier get deleted?
deleted. So an admin put a tweet out of him on his own kicking a ball and sitting down.
Yeah.
Pep then said, no, he did not train.
Yeah.
And it gets deleted. And you're like, what? Who's lying? I don't know. None of us know.
Well, City Extra also came out and said for the first time since August, Man City now have their entire first team squad in training as normal.
Yeah, even those. But what you don't know is, like, they are not the psychopaths that we are. Because, like, they're not thinking when they use the words as normal at the end, like, that we take that as full contact training. He's playing in the next available fixture.
Yeah.
They are not tweeting it with us in mind. They don't realize the monsters they're dealing with. But then they see the monsters we're dealing with, or they do realize it and they know it getting more engagement.
Yeah, there's that.
And then they play it. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant like
just meant that he's not with the physio. He's
yeah.
he's in the gym. Something
Gym,
like
but
he's in
by
the gym
now
at the
you've
same
got all
time as
my
everyone else.
engagement, and I love the retweets.
Yeah.
Like they all know what they're doing. It's farming.
Yeah.
So, but we don't know what we don't know. We in that sense. But if you go to Trent, you're spending 3 million quid, and you're then saying to yourself, I now have to sell Salah and Son. You virtually have to in that space.
Yeah.
And then you've also got to find a way to get them back in. So you could then be pushing yourself to earlier wild card than necessarily you want to. Yeah. And you could be scrambling again. My alternative, play the low volume, because if Simicast plays, he's got as much clean sheet chance as Trent.
Yeah.
Hasn't got as much turn chance and as much bonus chance as him, but he has still got that. I have an extra 3 million in the bank, and I have an extra transfer. So when a lot of people are making transfers this week, if you don't make a transfer, you're in a good position.
I guess that's part. I guess that's part of the week as well. Is like, as we said, like free hits obviously just off the table because you cannot. There's not enough upside to play it.
Nah.
So, because you would have 3 Villa, right? On a free hit, you'd have 3 Villa, right? And you'd probably have 3 Fulham, or 2 Fulham at least.
Yeah, you'd have Leno.
You'd have Leno. You'd have
Anthony Robertson.
Anthony Robertson, and probably Iwobi. Iwobi up top. You would, mate. You would.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't. You would just plan it through. You'd have Leno in goal, obviously. You'd have Powell and Cash, probably.
Powell, Cash, and Watkins.
Cash?
Yeah.
Powell, Cash, and Watkins. You would have maybe Kudus at West Ham.
Yep.
I think I would do it.
You'd have Son.
Leno, Robertson, Son, and Richarlison.
And Porro, probably.
And Porro. And then you just have attackers from Liverpool, Arsenal. What about Mr. Odegaard?
Odegaard? Well...
Are you interested?
I'm getting more interested.
Gordon this week?
Not this week. Again, same reason. Like, I mean, to be fair, actually, if I'm going to make it next week anyway, then I could just do it. Because I don't think he gets me too far away. But then he probably denies me Saka until 21.
So Gordon replacements, like the natural ones this week, we're saying Kudus is a no because go to AFCON. Richarlison is a green light because you've got
Son going to Asia.
yeah. And would you still do Son over Kulusevski? Richarlison over Kulusevski?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's closer now, but I do think I'd still would do Richarlison. I still would do Bowen over both of them, even though I think the fixtures are worse. In the short term, but by 20, we all say we're going to get Richarlison in 20. There's no chance on earth anyone looks at the fixture list and says that they'll go Richarlison over Bowen in 20. Not once you actually look at the fixtures. Like he is an absolute must. Even more so with Kudus after AFCON.
Yeah, agreed.
But the next couple are like, well, it depends. Depends how you see Man United at home nowadays as a fixture.
I've got the fixtures. Have I got the fixtures? I think I did have the fixtures somewhere.
Yeah, I don't. But
yeah, they still
the next look. You've got that next couple where it's like, oh, I don't know. But included in the things on the hop on, hop off that are not coloured in is Brighton at home.
Yeah, so you're Brighton at home.
Brighton at home is Brighton at home. Brighton at home feels like a fan. Brighton at home, Sheffield United, Bournemouth. That's pretty good. Pretty good. As a nice little spate that you want that. You really want that. So I do think that but I think if I looked at the next three for Richarlison, obviously Everton's his old club. And you've got the Bournemouth game at home.
You've also got Brighton in there, and you've got United. I know they're both away, but like they're not two teams that are particularly good at. Well, I mean, I say that Onana's got the joint most clean sheets this season.
Yeah.
Sorry, Odegaard.
Because it's just good for Arsenal now, isn't it? Really, there's not really a lot of bad out there. Tell me what we're looking at.
So the data you can see is his contribution to attacks in terms of his net penalty, non-penalty XGI, and sort of his chances created and shots and things like that he's doing in the first few games of the season, and then also kind of since he's been back from injury. So first game back from injury, 0.23 non-penalty XGI, not fantastic, but first game back, okay. And then we start to see a change, and we almost start to see an instant change. And we saw that in the performances as well, and we saw it in the XG charts. They just started to bash teams. Close to 1 MPXGI in Gameweek 14, and then now hovering around 0.5, 0.6 for the last 3 game weeks. Whereas in the first 9 game weeks, it runs average probably about 0.25, 0.25. So he's what it's a small sample size, caveats as always, but the data in this small sample seems to say that he's basically twice as likely now to return as he was in the first 9 game weeks.
Twice as likely to return. I do think that the big 2 things are Jesus and Kai.
Yeah,
they're the 2 players sort of around him that is number 9 who does good work, and is twin in midfield who will push teams back, which does create goal scoring opportunities for him, but also gives him someone to hit, because we talked about it a lot, but in this chart, the light grey is his chance created. And his chance created for a player of his ability has been horrific for that first 8, 9, 10 weeks before he was out. Like, he was basically all of his XGI was just shots, really.
Yeah.
And so he's actually taking less or comparable shots to where he was in sort of game weeks 1 to 4, but he's added back in the chance creation. Like he's created,
and additionally, the quality's getting better as well.
Yeah,
like per action, it's better.
Yeah, I mean but like his XA in game week 14 was as much pretty much as like game week 1 to 6.
Yeah,
combined. So yeah, he's back to running the show. That's what I think we can definitely watch when you see it. You kind of just you feel it. But because he is, shouldn't misplace that, because he is now creating more chances, the best player in their team at creating is creating. That does also make everybody else in that team better. It makes Saka better. It makes Jesus better. It makes Havertz better. It makes Martinelli better. Anybody who's playing, it's not that suddenly it's like he's the best asset in the world and everyone else has got worse. It's like you want to double up with him, really. To get the real benefit, you want to look at attacking double up for him. And those fixtures are coming. And that is a part of another reason that makes me doubt a little on Trent, because if you wanted to replace, say, someone like myself, if I said I wanted to take Archer or Solanke, because they're the two forwards, really, I'm looking at moving one of those forwards to go back to Haaland. And it's bloody hard when you've just got done in on Solanke to then take him out, because the second you take him out, that double's getting announced. But like ideally you go, right, I want to get Haaland, I want to get Odegaard, and probably Richarlison. They're probably like the three biggies that a lot of people are going to get. Well, it becomes slightly harder if you've already spent all your money from taking Haaland out in the first place.
Would you say that we want to be getting Odegaard supplementary to Saka?
Yeah, 100%. Unless he becomes supplementary to Jesus. Because if Jesus just plays every game and suddenly all of it starts coming through the middle, what we're seeing this calendar year.
No, but we're not going to Jesus as an asset. What I mean is, are you saying get Odegaard, or would you only get Odegaard if you already had Saka?
Yeah, I would. Yes.
Yeah. So you'd say Saka is still the priority. I mean, because there's 0.6 million between them at the moment. For someone that doesn't own them either of them, I don't know whether I'm looking at. I mean, I guess if I'm delaying the transfer to the AFCON Asia departure of players, it probably doesn't matter so much because I'm coming down from Son.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want Saka, you want to get Haaland back, and if you sell Salah to get Haaland, well, Haaland costs over £1 million more than what Salah is. So therefore, you've also got to downgrade another position. So you're like, oh, I've now got to downgrade that one. I've now got to do this.
That's why I don't like going to Trent.
Exactly. Trent does start cutting some of these things off. 8.2 is a huge amount of money.
100.5 on the FPL statistics today as well.
Wow, is it? To go up again?
Yeah.
I must want him to go up tonight, so then because that'll put me off.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be making any moves again with this Bournemouth, Luton thing as well. I wouldn't want.
And we don't even know what presses we're going to get tomorrow morning.
I'll just wait for Scout to post it. It's fine. Just wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Scout will post it in the morning, and then
we're going to get some or not get some, or what we're going to get. Is it going to turn out? So I don't think you can make transfers tonight, even if he is going up.
We are. Yeah. We're almost at an hour, so we need to get to teams and get out. I hate to cut us short.
We can't be at an hour because for those people watching this that don't know about
it. Oh no, we're at 45 minutes.
We did try to do this video and we messed it up, so we had to start again.
We're at 45 minutes. Sorry, no, we're 52 minutes recording, and I hit record when we started the first one. So 45 minutes. Yeah, we still need to move on.
Or we can do our team in real quickly. So I've just carried on from this. I could do my team in about 2 seconds if you like.
Well, people have got to listen, so.
Yeah, I spent some of my money last week from Haaland on Saka. So I took the -4 there. So I'm currently got, with Cher on the bench, I've got Dubravka in goal, Tsimikas, Saliba, Porro at the back. I've got Palmer, Bowen, Saka, Salah, Son. So there's no transfers happening in my midfield. I've got Solanke and Watkins. There's no transfers happening up top. It really is a question of, do I take Share out and go to Trent? I'm not going to go to Trippier now because it's still a
Yeah.
similar situation. And then how do you take a guy out who's just playing terribly? Like you can see it and think he's on fumes. Just don't like it. Um, uh, yeah. So if we got some news that says Share's out for a little while, I might need to look at it. I could also. Oh
I
dear.
don't know why. I don't know why it froze. I don't know why it
Is it
froze. It
back?
should be back. It should be back. It should be back.
Should be back.
Can you guys tell us where we got to?
We're
Can you
back. We're back.
where we got to? Was I just saying?
It was literally, I think you just said you got 7.3 million in the bank. Don't need to do
Oh,
that
okay,
much.
so yeah, 7.3
Also
million in
just
the
saw
bank.
Bowen scored apparently.
Yeah.
My boy.
So as I was saying, Dubravka in goal, Cher, Gabriel, Simicas, Foden, Palmer, Son, Salah, Alvarez, Solanke, Watkins, Cap, and then Gordon, Anderson, Kabore on the bench. Yeah, again, depends on the Newcastle thing because I'm trying to take this approach of bringing in players that are highly owned by others, or like in higher ranks than me. Like I'm looking at top 100k, top 250k type vibes and saying where are those big hitters from those teams? And it's a bit boring to say like I just want to have the tip players that those guys have, but if I have those guys, then I should, in theory, start to just move my
progression.
Move my way up. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was when you were talking about Share, apparently.
I don't think it's that.
But so Share could be Porro, and that's kind of where I've basically just been looking at. Is Share to Porro is primarily my move.
Share to Porro means you've got Anderson to cover Foden, and then it's quite reliant on Gordon playing, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, because otherwise I get Kabore in Newcastle. I'm pretty light. I think I just have to take this one on the chin. There's no point in taking any hits around this game week for anything.
Seems to be quite a few people out there that are taking hits this week. I've been quite surprised with it. They're more than happy that, especially like thinking about these next sort of 4 or 5 weeks, is that, say, for example, like if you're bringing a transfer forward like Richarlison, for example, like if you think I'm almost certainly going to end up with Richarlison, and it's like, well, why don't I do it now? Like if you think that you're gonna end up with, so for you, I still think Gordon to Saka for a hit is a good move, or Gordon to Odegaard for a hit is a good move.
Yeah,
like
but I just can't see a -4 paying off when they got Liverpool this week.
But I do. Why does it have to pay this week?
It doesn't, but it helps.
But we are going to need 2 transfers. All of us are going to need 2 transfers really quickly. So we are 100% going to need transfers. To get Haaland in, have to. It's like a guaranteed -4 for us, or we have to do something for it. So, therefore, like you're going to take that hit at some point in the next few weeks. If you wanted to take Gordon out, for example, so after this game, do you really want to keep Gordon for that run of 3 games? You probably don't. There's going to be some fire sales there. If he misses a game, and then people start to see the fixtures that run past it, there's going to be some fire sales there. So
it might be even that Gordon just becomes a dead asset if I want to stick 3-4-3. There is a possible there. I know you again. I just going back to pre live now, but like 8 attackers, whilst it isn't really a problem, it's a bench and headache every week. I'm uncomfortable with it. I don't really like it at the moment. It hasn't really worked for me. Like let me be frank about it. Like I changed to a 3-man attack back in Gameweek 9 or something like that, and it's been shit. It's just been everything's been bad about the last 8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean Alvarez has been frustrating. It's been a frustrating own.
Yeah. You got all the points before I got him.
But that doesn't mean won't be going forward. Like, it's just get good players. Just accumulating good players is good. And I do keep saying it, but this is a season of injuries. Yeah, and you've been pretty fortunate with them, but they could be happening this week. And let's just say, let's say it turns out that Gordon is an injury, and that soreness for like, it misses one game. You're like, I have no idea if he's going to be playing again on Boxing Day. And
Yeah.
it's another game that you're worrying about it, and it's another game you're worrying about it. And I'm like, if I think there's a shadow of a doubt, we should just take him out. Just get him out now at the moment. Um, as long as it's someone good. As long as it's someone good. If it's somebody you think, I'm sad that I don't own that person, and I'm going to be sad for the next few weeks that I don't own that person. You've talked about it yourself. Protect yourself. Like, the biggest
Mm.
protection you could take this week is bringing in Saka. Really,
Yeah,
it's the
probably.
most protective move that you could make.
Probably.
Um,
Yeah.
but I know it's. If you ask me how I feel, I was speaking with late riser and our friend Danny as well earlier today about how do we see this game go. Me and late riser both see. I feel like Arsenal are going to completely dominate Liverpool. And I think the only thing from Liverpool will be how good their counter attacks are. But I think the majority of the game will just be Arsenal strangling Liverpool and Liverpool trying to fight long balls to get them way out of it. That's how I feel it will work. Um, I think late riser feels the same, but I think Danny's more. He thinks it's going to be more toe to toe. But I do think, if you ask me what the prediction for goals this week, I would say it's a 2-2 game. On our Super Six, I'll be putting in 2-2 this week.
Yeah, well, I'd probably have it closer to 1-1. I just think, I just don't think it's good.
It's a big game.
Because it's Liverpool at home as well.
It's such a big game, though.
Yeah,
it's such a big game.
I think Liverpool at home.
Yeah, it could be big. It could be like, if I said to you there were 5 goals in it, you wouldn't be surprised. You wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
And it, yeah, I don't think I'd want to take it on with Saka. I really don't.
Fair
All
enough.
good. All good. It's when I'm seeing people like Zoff and Praz and that are thinking about like hitting in Richarlison. I'm like, people can hit Richarlison in, you can hit Saka in. It's fine. Still good. Trent's got 2 assists apparently. It's 5-1.
Yeah, someone scored a worldie.
Curtis Jones.
Might have been Salah. I don't know. Anyway,
I need to try. I need to do a bit of future planning. If I won't go look at Trent, I need to do a bit of future planning, because it's
I've got FPL.team. I've been looking at FPL.team. So shout out to Pete. If you haven't used FPL.team, you should go and check it out. Really, really good planning tool. And I only just figured out you can change the transfer prices. I was trying to work out why I couldn't fit certain players in for ages, but you can actually amend the transfer price, because
I did see that. I haven't had a go at it, but I did
last
see
week, because last week I bought Son earlier in the week.
Gotcha.
And then he was up at 9.7 instead of 9.5. I had to adjust it back down. But I was trying to figure out how to do it, couldn't work it out, and then managed to figure it out. So that's good. That's good. If anybody else has any questions, then let us know in the chat. As always, thanks to all of our patrons. I just want to make sure we've covered their questions, actually, before we go anywhere, because that would be bad, asking them for questions. There is a question that says, are we too early to go on Moreno? I think we've covered that, just because we're not sure yet. Bandini asked, from a member of the 4+ million rank club, what is the best strategy to catch up? Went from 4 million to 300k in the second half of last season, but seems difficult to repeat. I agree. I think it's difficult to repeat. Obviously, we're not going to have as many doubles and blanks. It's going to be So less engaged managers, I don't want to call them casuals, but less engaged managers are not going to have to, are not going to be finding that more engaged managers can navigate those much more easily because they're aware.
Template it up. Just template it up, mate.
Yeah. Steve asked, do we hold off buying expensive defenders with the money? We have, with the imminent return of the Norwegian meat shield. We don't know, I guess, now.
We don't know. We don't know. But like you said, it's not the greatest week to buy an expensive defender. So if you are going to do it, like potentially me, because of the share injury, you need to have a plan. You need to have a plan to then work out, well, if I do that, what's my sacrifice down the line? Because spending 8.2 million on a defender is a lot of money.
Yeah, agreed. Brian in the chat doesn't ask us a question. He's asked Bozzy a question, Powell Konza. So we'll let you answer that in the chat, Bozzy. That's why you're here. Our Villa, almost like a Villa expert that we have in the chat.
Cy Walker says goalkeeper options, got Ariel and Fleck, and it's just dubbing it. I know the fixtures are starting to get worse, but it's just dubbing it. So cheap.
Or
Leno.
We don't. Yeah, Leno. I wouldn't go Dubravka now.
Leno.
I'm not going Dubravka now because of uncertainty around January, what they want to do, keeper and stuff like that.
Yeah, we are getting closer to it, aren't we?
Yeah, you're just getting less benefit out of it. And those you say
Leno. Yeah, and if you've already got Flecken, I would be Leno.
Leno. Good week this week as well.
Yeah. Leno.
Plans, Sam asks, so plans for AFCON Asia Cup, distribution of funds versus leaving the money in the bank to get straight back to Son Salah. I think quite a few people will distribute and then re-wildcard back into it and work their way back to it. I mean, we have to at some point have a squad. We need a squad at some point because there's a lot of people that we need to bench boost at some point. So we will need a playing squad. I think I'm quite happy having like Kabore just sit there until wildcard.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter for now.
It's one of the reasons why you can keep 8 attackers, mate. I know you hate the bench headaches. I know you hate it.
Yeah. So couple other questions and then we'll head out.
There's a few people talked about Sleep and Simicast. We did that a lot. You scroll back about 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about Doug Luiz at all. And obviously he's on pens and this is a brilliant fixture. Is that it? Like for people that somehow haven't got a lot of money in the bank and they've potentially got Gordon, for example, or even those that want to try and make sure they've got enough to get to Haaland in one move. Are we just neglecting Doug? I feel like he's the sort of player that I can't see even me and you ever owning.
Has he done
really well? Yes.
Well,
loads of points.
Yeah, on penalties, but not in the last 5-6 games. He's got 1 assist in his last 5.
Also, Camera is out of this week, so Doug's the full holder.
Yeah.
Unless they play Dendonka.
Which they could.
But if they chuck McGinn in the middle, then it's really that Doug's going to be the sitter.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just really desperately looking at trying to find Doug Luiz's stats in the recent history.
It's just penalties, mate.
It is just penalties.
Because he does so much stuff. If he gets a pen, it's like an 8-point pen.
So he hasn't had a pen since game week 9. So there's that. I know pens aren't predictable, but just to put that there, he hasn't had a pen since game week 9. And between game week 9 and game week 14, he registered 0 XG. Perfect. 0.9 in the 2 games after that, and then nothing in the last 2. His last 2 games, I know one was in the Conference League, but
he's not for us, mate.
No, I don't think so. I don't like it as a pick.
No, I don't. So we know who's going to be on the thumbnail Sunday night. See you then.
Doug Luiz. Double digit Doug Luiz.
What are we? This is as planned as we are. What is our plan for between now and Christmas?
Saturday pod.
Saturday
with the wheel and some drinking, maybe. I don't know. We were supposed to do a fun like Christmas one or some kind.
How many fixtures have we got going on now? We've got one game tomorrow night. We've got one game on Friday night. Oh, and then all bar Wolves Chelsea is Sun. Oh, right. So that's not too bad, is it?
Perfect, isn't it? We can cover the week. We can cover the week
Saturday
on
night.
Saturday evening.
Perfect.
Excellent,
Living
mate. Everyone, if you're still here, thank you for sticking with us through the technical shit show that it was the start of the pod. But if you enjoyed it as well, make sure you drop a like. It is Christmas. We would love just a like, maybe a subscribe, and let us know in the comments what transfers you're thinking of doing this week. Thanks to Bozzy in the chat for answering all the Villa questions. Thanks to the guys. Thanks to Lard and to Polo's Pen for your super chats. Really appreciate that.
We'll probably get somewhere like 3,000-4,000 people watch this. And most of them probably won't get to now, but we need about 200 odd people out of like, so about 10% of the people that watch this to subscribe to us, and they could give us 7,000 by Christmas.
7,000 by Christmas. That's all we need.
Even if you just bin us off on Boxing Day, you'd make our Christmas.
Yeah, just so we can wake up on Christmas morning and see the 7,000. That'd be amazing.
It'd be amazing.
And it's not like we're not thankful, right? We're just giving away coasters. We're giving away mugs.
Giving away this, giving away that.
I don't know. How many coasters did you send to me?
I've sent 200. Do I need to send more?
No, not yet. I've got through 2 piles. I've just opened the second lot. I've got a third one.
And if you already do subscribe to us and follow us and do all that stuff, 1, we love you. Merry Christmas. But 2, if you share it, then that gives us a chance of getting there.
Yeah, agreed.
That'd be amazing.
Amazing. Game week starts tomorrow. 6:30 deadline. Don't miss it. We'll see you on Saturday. Speak to you later, mate.
See you Saturday. See you later, mate.